like I said, I do hate that Cirie and I kind of have fallen off.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Jolene. That's me. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene. That's me, stand-up comedian and Big Brother superfan Joleen Lunzer here to break it all down for you. But first, as Julie Chen says, make sure you smash that like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I am just doing all the social media BB25 post-season stalking so you guys don't have to. And I can bring you all the tea and information that we are learning as we anxiously await for Big Brother's Reindeer Games to premiere next week, which I will be recapping and roasting. Probably mostly roasting. Felicia and Jag have been two of the house guests who have been on social media quite a bit. They've been doing a lot of Instagram lives. I caught an Instagram live that Felicia just popped up in of Jag's when he was going live with his brother Jazz. Felicia popped in the comment section and was like, "Can you drop a link? How does this thing work?" Because we know Felicia, since leaving the Big Brother house, has struggled on social media and navigating technology in general. Even so much so that she did half of an Instagram live on her own Instagram account, and the camera was upside down. It started right side up, and then she knocked it over, and then it was upside down, and then her husband, Dwayne, had to yell,
"Felicia, it's upside down."
He's like, "I don't think so." "Okay, looks like it's right side up to me." And then he came and flipped the camera.
Always been in the house. Let me see why this is not coming out. So this is, oh, I'm not sure why I got this. Okay, so you guys know I'm really crazy. I done knocked the camera down, didn't even realize I knocked the camera down. Sorry. Oh, I thought it actually had a faith of a mustard seed, but it says Faith Center Company. So I think this has to do with the podcast that she does. She has a Christian podcast that she does, so she sent me this.
You're upside down.
I'm looking at it. It's right side up. Phone is upside down. The phone was upside. Has the phone been upside down the whole time? So you guys have been looking at me upside down the whole time and I didn't even realize it. Husband. Okay. My cups from...
In this live that she came into of Jag's, she talked about she and Cirie's strained relationship and also losing her brother. So we're going to take a look at that and we're going to react to it and see what happens. So let's get started.
Yeah. It was, I enjoyed it though. I think this was a great experience. I wouldn't change any of it for anything in the world. Like I said, I do hate that Cirie and I kind of have fallen off because I genuinely liked Cirie in the house. I really did. She was really my bestie. But when I see some of the live feeds now, the after interviews, I have to assume she didn't feel the same way. And so you can't do anything about that. So if she reaches out to me, I would gladly, like to talk, hold a conversation. But I just feel like I got to let her be the one to reach out because she's the one that's made the comments that she's made. So, I mean, she's saying how she feels. And so I don't push people to do anything.
Yeah.
And I've learned at 63, people are going to do them, whatever that is. And pushing doesn't help. And so I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay right where I'm sitting.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know about
That actually, the first time I watched that, it was very sad. And now the second time I'm watching it, it's equally sad. You can tell that Felicia really does care for Cirie. And we saw that in the house. Did they have their issues? Yes. Did they both kind of sell each other out in the game? Yes. Did it get messy at times? Of course. But it was really sad to me to see Felicia, open up about this. And you can tell that she is hurt, and that this is what happens after the season when people are actually honest and vulnerable about their feelings. Seeing someone do an interview post-season saying, when you think you have a certain relationship with them, and then basically saying, no, I'm just not that into you. Now, I think Cirie, she's done a little bit of press post-season, but she's kind of been hanging with her family, kind of on her own. We haven't even seen her a ton on social media other than like celebrity events she's been invited to, like the variety event she went to recently, where it was the most influential or powerful women in reality TV. And obviously she was featured among many other women of reality TV. So really the only time we saw Cirie talk about Felicia, obviously live feeds with other house guests, in the jury house a little bit. And then we did hear from America interview on Rob Has a Podcast that Cirie came into the jury house very upset with Felicia, which I think those are normal emotions when you play a game like this social game where you do develop relationships, but you're stuck in this house with people you wouldn't normally maybe choose to be stuck with nonstop with no distractions for 100 days. And so I think, Cirie in interviews, she said Felicia was difficult to be around. A big reason being, I think, boundaries with cutting her toenails or farting on Cirie's bed.
On my bed. Remember I asked you?
Oh, the disrespect.
That is so disrespectful.
Hand me
Even
the
if
spray.
I asked you not to, I would never do that.
I didn't know it was going to come out.
You're about to
I know, but you got to get up. See, I would never do you like that.
I didn't know that one was going to come out.
You know it's coming out. You sit there and
You shit on my house, man. No. You shit on my house!
oh, my bed.
Just spray my butt.
Oh,
hold
my
it.
God.
And also, within the game, they really didn't repair their game relationship after the Izzy vote. And after Felicia just couldn't put the pieces together of why Cirie was closer to Jared and Izzy than to her, because she felt a genuine connection with Cirie, which then, Felicia didn't feel as close to Cirie. And so then she was sharing information about Cirie to Jag and to these guys, kind of throwing Cirie under the bus. And also even prior to that, making a final two with Jared after she already had a final two with Cirie. But, Cirie had a final two with Jared since birth. So who can you blame? I do think that with time, they'll be able to hang out. Do I think Cirie wants to be Felicia's close friend? I don't. And that does make me sad. But let's keep listening and see what else Felicia has to say about this.
You spent a lot of time together throughout the whole season.
We did. I loved her and Jared. I mean, again, I can see how she probably got offended thinking that I was trying to come into that mother space. And of course, I'm just thinking he's just another guy in the house, but he just still does remind me so much of Jair that I just almost felt like he was a son to me.
Yeah.
Not a true son, but you know what I'm saying? Like Jair's got some friends that he's gone to school with where, they call me, hey, Mom. Yeah. And I love him like a son. And that's kind of how I felt with Jared. But I could tell that bothered her that I was moving in that space. And so, and I get it. I get it all day long.
I don't see Cirie being jealous of Felicia's want for a relationship or relationship in the house with Jared, or her. I mean, she's making it seem like she's like lusting after her son. Like, I don't think she's trying to be the hand that rocks the cradle and steal grown-up Jared, the child, from Cirie. And I don't think Cirie took it as that. I think it has more to do with your farting and your nail cutting on her bed and just the inconsideration, I think. And she just got sick of you. She got annoyed with you. And, the thing with Cirie is her game is so good because you'll think you're good with her, but you probably aren't. Okay, if Cirie's being nice to you and laughing at your shit, She probably doesn't really think it's funny. That's why she's perfect for these type of games, because you do have to sell yourself that like, I'm plugged in, and not in an authentic way, but in a way that people actually think that, you know, you're working with them, you're interested in what they have to say. There's so many social elements that Cirie has to always have turned on, and we watched her on the feeds struggle to have that constantly turned on in this game that is like 3 times or more longer than Survivor and games she's used to playing. But she is good at repairing these relationships within the game and making you feel as though you're okay. And I think Felicia doesn't have the experience of these games to fall back on. And so she really went into it as Felicia. As messy as she played, that was Felicia. How she talked about people, that's how Felicia would talk about people. Where Cirie realizes now, having been in reality TV for as long as she has, that, you know, she's able to put on an act. And we were able to see that in action. And it was pretty amazing that she could be like, like a genuine laugh. And then they walk out and she's like,
Mom to get that.
So Felicia says you have to be a mom to get that. I'm not a mom. I'm just a fur baby mom. So I'm not a human baby mom. But let me know, moms in the chat, sound off. Do you think Cirie is at all mad at Felicia for like coveting her child? I didn't get those vibes at all. Again, I think it's the farting and the toenail stuff and the throwing her under the bus. I think that's it.
Yeah. Is that something that she's, I guess, spoke about, or because I didn't know about it.
She hasn't actually said anything to that effect about, you know, she felt, well, I take that back. There are some live feeds where she said, that's my damn son and blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah.
I don't remember Cirie ever in that context being like, it's my damn son, she better stay away from him. Like,
Back up off my son, my man.
I don't remember that. It could be that she's trying to protect him. So maybe you're hearing that on live feeds. I don't know what Felicia watched on live feeds, because we know she has admitted that Dwayne, her husband, recorded a lot of the live feeds so that she could come home and watch them. But I don't remember Cirie ever being like, oh, that's my damn son, she better stay away from him. I don't know what Felicia is really talking about here, but again, I'm not a mother. So mothers, please sound off in the comment section.
That's one thing, like, I haven't seen live feeds, or I haven't seen the episodes back. I haven't seen interviews that other people have had, but that's been intentional on my end, because like the game is the game, you know, and like for me, the personal relationships that we built are so real. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what, you know, like at no point did I want any.
So easy for the guy that won $750,000 to say, because you can buy new friends, bro.
Hopefully she reaches out, or you know, whatever it is. But
I think we'll be fine after a little bit of time passes. And again, because I'm not one to hold stuff. Life is too short to hold stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that.
You can clearly tell that Felicia misses Cirie, and she's hoping that she reaches out, but she's going to let Cirie reach out, because she's like, she's the one that's kind of done and said things post-season that make it seem like she doesn't want a relationship with Felicia. I still think if you really want a relationship with that person, it's okay for you to reach out if you do care about Cirie, and maybe, you know, there's something you can apologize for if the relationship means something to you, if you think you owe her an apology in any way. I'm not sure. Part of me hopes that Cirie gives Felicia a chance, because I really enjoyed them on the show together. And it does bum me out that I do feel, I get the farting, I get the nail stuff, I get the, you know, messiness. But if, in my opinion, Jared was worse for Cirie's game than Felicia. So if you can go forward, granted he's her son, and forgive your son, you can forgive Felicia. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but Jared was way worse for your game. But right now it looks like Cirie is only really talking to Izzy and famous people. So what are you going to do? But it seems as though Jag was a little bummed about this too. You know, he's like, oh man, oh gosh, the older women can't get along. You know, because poor Jag, he's trying to fight off Bowie Jane. He may not say it, but you see it in his eyes, because Bowie Jane has been with him now since Thanksgiving, and she's not leaving. I don't know if she booked all of her DJ gigs in Washington around where Jag lives, but she's like, hey, it's me, Bowie Jane. Hi, Jag. I'm stealing Washington. Ah. Jag, how has your life changed? And I'm going to say for the better when Bowie Jane hasn't left Washington. Ah. And he's like, Bowie's still here. She's a 46-year-old Australian barrister. Oh, okay. And I'm 25 and want to hang out with my brother and my friends. But that's who's the lady with the crazy ponytails? That's just Auntie Bowie. She just shows up to the college parties 24 years too late. She pays, No, she doesn't, because she didn't make a lot of money, because she gave the money to the men. She let the men win the show.
Really got to learn to be in tune with their spirit and all. Because if you guys remember, on day 58 is when they told me about my brother.
Yeah.
That's when I went out of the house for about 4 hours. And I told them also that I didn't want them to let me know if and when he passed and I was still in the house. On day 30, which was 2 days later, day 60, which was 2 days later, I went into the diary room and I asked them to could I send a video to my family? Because I said, my brother passed. I can feel it. And here's the crazy thing. I did that. I think it was about 12 o'clock when I did that, 11, 12. My brother passed that morning at 10 something that morning.
Wow.
And so my family said, they all kept trying to figure out, who told you? I said, nobody. I said, because I asked them not to. I said, but I knew it because I felt it. And I went and then I said, I have to do this video because I know my brother has passed. I said, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but my gut is telling me he has already passed, and he had passed that morning. And so that's why I say, when I would be feeling stuff in the house, when I come to say, something shifted, Jag, what is it? I could feel it. And I don't know what it was about. So I was very in tune with stuff. A lot of times I couldn't figure out where stuff was coming from, but I always knew something was coming at me. If that makes sense. But I appreciated that sense of intuitiveness that I really had in the house, because it's really what carried my game.
Yeah, no, it really is. And I remember you talked to me about that too. Just having that feeling. I remember that day. And you're like, I don't need to know, but I just know. Yeah. Whatever it is that you felt, like you knew. Because I think you said like your spirit was telling you that or something. And I know throughout the game you talked a lot about like listening to your gut and like knowing things are off. Like something just shifted.
Just hearing Felicia share her experience of losing her brother while being in the Big Brother house makes me think, if I was Cirie, I would just forgive everything, because you have to remember, Felicia stayed in that house and played the game for another 30 plus days after finding out that her brother passed away. And very interesting for her to, mention that she was out of the house for 4 hours. So I don't know if maybe she had some kind of like out of the DR, it sounds like, because she wasn't just in the DR for 4 hours when they were telling her about her brother. She was out of the house. So I don't know if they took her to some kind of therapy, a grief consult. I don't know how that works. You think they would bring that in. So I'm not sure where she went, if she was able to talk to any family members, but it sounds like maybe they let her send a video. So what happened in that 4 hours, we don't know. Until and if she can elaborate more than that, but very interesting, but also just heartbreaking to know that Felicia stayed in that house after, grieving her brother, such a tragic loss, and she never said anything. It wasn't on the episodes. I don't remember hearing anyone talk about on the live feed, so she might have mentioned it to house guests, but then she persevered, and that is, it's amazing. It's very sad, but very amazing. So if I was Cirie, I would forgive the farting, forgive the nails. Just reach out, okay? Send Felicia a DM. No, she won't find it. Send her, not a text. Just call her real quick and say, hey, I'm just kind of taking a break from everything. I'll call you next year. Happy holidays, or something like that. I wish we could get. But again, Cirie will have her own reasoning. But I feel like if she can forgive Jared and how much he messed with her game, and, how Izzy was all over her, surely Felicia can be forgiven and there can be a friendship had. But again, they've only been out of the house for a short period of time, and I just really enjoyed them together. And I think they should do a podcast, even though, breaking news, Cirie is doing a podcast with Jared. Don't all go run to Google to find it at once. She's doing a Millennials versus Gen X podcast. It's something like Mother Knows It All, or Does She? And they're just going to talk about different things from a millennial and Gen X perspective, even though technically Jared's Gen Z. Already the podcast might be problematic. I love Cirie, and I get he's your son, but stop trying to make Jared happen. Okay? We saw. That was great. Nice to meet you. Okay, bye-bye. Good to see you. Please sound off in the comment section. Let me know all your hopes, thoughts, dreams, and opinions. Smash that like if you haven't already. And follow me on all the social media at Joleen Lunzer on Instagram, Twitter, and the Tiki-Taki. Thank you all so much. And always remember to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. I'll be back soon. Bye.
If you